This is a really chewy thing. It's really hard to talk. I should have taken a smaller bite. Okay. Hi, I'm Genevieve Ko, Deputy Editor and Cooking Columnist at NYT Cooking, and today we're making butter mochi. So if you've never had butter mochi, it's such an amazing treat. It has this great texture and this lovely natural sweetness from the rice, and it's super easy to make. Mochi is sweet rice, and it's actually the basis for a lot of desserts throughout Asia. The rice is actually ground into a really fine flour, and that flour ends up making these desserts that have this amazing texture. There's nothing quite like mochi. It's chewy, but it's soft. It's not quite as chewy as like chewing gum, and it's not quite as soft as marshmallow. It's something in between. It's almost like a nougat texture. Whatever you mix it with, it can be as sweet or not as sweet as you want it to be. I am gonna get started. I'm gonna butter the pan. The reason that you're buttering the pan is actually to help the parchment stay in place. I definitely recommend lining the pan with parchment paper, and I do that so that it's really easy to take out the whole entire mochi in a single piece. The butter here actually acts like glue. Here's the pan all ready to go. So mochiko flour is ground from sweet rice grains, and it's really finely ground, and it yields these amazing desserts. They come in these handy 16-ounce boxes, and this is exactly the amount you need for a 9 by 13 cake pan. We're actually going to start making the batter. And then I'm going to get all my wet ingredients ready. I'm going to microwave the butter. Go. All right, so here is our melted butter. And I'm gonna let that cool while I start beating the eggs. I crack them into a separate bowl first, because even though it's another bowl to wash, it's actually much less of a pain to wash one more bowl than to try to pick out a teeny little bit of eggshell from a cake batter. You can totally just mix it by hand, but I'm just lazy. I think it's easier, and since there is a stand mixer right here, I'm just gonna use it. So here we're gonna mix our sugar. I'm now gonna keep it on low while I slowly add my dry ingredients. So I can see that some of the dry ingredients are just riding up the side of the bowl, so I'm gonna go ahead and scrape it down so that it can just mix in a little more quickly. And then once I see that the dry ingredients are pretty well incorporated so that I don't see any dry white spots, I actually do give the mochi a quick little mix at a higher speed just to make sure everything is totally incorporated. And I'm a very greedy batter person. I want every last drop. There we go. All right, so now this can just go right in the oven. It actually bakes for a really long time. It's like 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and 30 minutes for this, and the reason is because the mochiko flour really has to cook through all the way, otherwise it tastes a little bit like gritty, finely ground rice, which is what it is. Once the mochi is totally cool, you can grab the edge of the paper and slide it right off. Yeah, look, see, it's so sturdy. You can just do that. Put it back down. The edges, like the edges of brownies, are just the best crunchy part. I feel like as the baker, you always deserve a treat, and the edges are my treat. So I'm going to trim the edges. It just gives you a nice, really even surface for glazing. The recipe as written doesn't have you trimming the edges. I just do this so that I can snack on a piece. So to make our glaze, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with confectioner sugar, and then we're gonna mix in some passion fruit juice. Just sort of start mixing and seeing, adding a little bit of liquid at a time proportional to the amount of confectioner sugar. So this is definitely too thick, right? You don't want this. You need the glaze to be a bit runnier than this. So I'm gonna add a touch more. I want it to be spready and drippy, but not so thin that it is translucent. So if you want to create a sunset or ombre look, what you need to do is tint your glaze 3 different colors. So usually what I do is I'll start with the lightest color to have the largest amount. And this is gel paste food coloring, which is way more intense than liquid food coloring. So you can see I just added 1 drop and I already have such a deep yellow. And then I'll do pink. This is so intense that I'm gonna just put a tiny drop on the spatula. Here we have our 3 colors. I tend to pour my glaze from the center. So I just like to go from the center out. And I'm not trying to necessarily cover the whole thing right now. I'm just trying to give myself a base over which to get other colors. I'm not using a different spatula or even trying to clean this one because I want this to blend these colors together. And then I'm gonna give myself a little orange on this end, spread and mix colors a little more pink here, and everything just starts to go together. And this is your glazed butter mochi. And I can see I'm getting a little drips on the side, and that's totally fine too. It just makes it more delicious. I like to cut my mochi into little squares. As you can see, they're really quite dense and chewy, so you don't necessarily want to eat a huge piece at one time. I just love that chewiness. So if you don't already have mochiko in your pantry, it's definitely something you want to stock, both so that you can make this dessert, which is so quick and easy and really fun and tasty. It's just a really versatile and delicious flour.